As you guys know, my eyeballs are, I can never catch a break. The sad thing about it, to me, honestly speaking, for me as a makeup artist, I think I always tell you guys the fact that I really can't play as much as I want to when it comes to makeup. You know, I tried today, I tried to be cute, okay, give you guys a little bit of blue, but my eyes, I'm fighting through this for you guys. Hi love bunnies, I hope you guys are all doing so well. Welcome back to the beauty house. As you can tell by the title, this video is gonna be a sit down, get to know little old me. I think I just came onto the YouTube scene and telling you guys that I'm a makeup artist, but not really letting you guys know exactly, to some capacity, who I am. So I said, you know what, it's a new year, and why not started with getting to know me, a little bit about me, a little bit who I am, a little bit of my backstory. So if you would like to know a dash about me and how I came across your screens, then continue to keep watching. So a little bit about my backstory is I am born and bred from Brooklyn, New York. Okay. I moved to Queens when I was, is that junior high school? I want to say junior high school. I moved to Queens, but I'm a Brooklyn girl, always at heart, okay? I don't play those reindeer games. Funnily enough, when I was younger, I did not like makeup. Like, it's the craziest thing. I never saw myself being a makeup artist. The first career that I wanted to be in was being a teacher. So I would always light up my dolls and my stuffed animals in the kitchen, and I had like this door at the time, and my mom bought me some chalk, and I used to write and teach and do all that jazz. I think I stopped wanting to be a teacher when I realized, unfortunately, they don't get paid enough. So then I pretty much changed the direction of the career choice that I wanted to go in. As time passed, I actually was going to school to be a criminal lawyer. So I did attend John Jay, and I also attended LaGuardia. But other things happened, life happened. And I would say around that time when I was in college, I also was working in Sephora, funnily enough. So I used to work in JCPenney's, and in the JCPenney's that I worked in, we had a Sephora in the store. So I would always see them wearing all black or black and red at that time. The dress was black and red. Always. Face was beat down, honey. And I was just always looking. I'm like, I think I want to do makeup. I think I want to work in Sephora. Not knowing anything about makeup, not really delving into makeup like that, because at that time I wasn't wearing makeup. I would only fill in my eyebrows and put on mascara. That was as much as it got to makeup for me. And surprisingly, I went to the manager. I said, hey, I want to work here. And I got it. So just pretty much practicing on myself at that time, because we also got samples. So we pretty much sampled a lot of the new products that was coming in. So that's how I started to get into knowing brands. That's how I started to get into playing with makeup. And that's really how I started to get into skincare and also fragrances, because in Sephora, if you know, they're called whirls. So you have your skincare, you have your makeup, and you also have fragrance. So being in Sephora, that's how I learned a lot about those different sectors when it came to beauty. But what really started my love affair with makeup, I would say, was when I got the job at Sephora. I realized that makeup was more than just makeup. when I was working in Sephora. At that time, it was really just me. Okay, I wanted to make more money. I wanted to kind of do something different, because at that time, that was so many moons ago, but at that time, the Sephora girls were making more money than any other department in JCPenney's at the time. So I was making $13.50, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I was like early 2000s, so minimum wage is only $7, honey. But I was making around $13.50. So at first, it was just more so the money. But still, also, I was always open to learning more, because you also have to sell. But I had a client one time. We would call them clients. I had a client one time, and she sat in the chair to get her makeup done with me. And we was just talking, just chit-chatting. I have this rule, like I think I told you guys, when I'm doing your makeup, you're not looking in the mirror. So although the mirror was right there, I made sure she didn't see what I was doing. We was done chatting up, and then I told her to look into the mirror. When she looked in the mirror, she started to cry. And for me, one, this was still something new to me. I was still kind of new in the field of makeup artistry. Still getting comfortable being in a pretty much an intimate setting with someone, because you're up close and personal. But then it touched me, because she cried and she said, this is the first time that I really felt beautiful. I'm a mom, and all I'm doing is working all the time, and I really don't have time for myself. So I don't have time to really get dolled up. But you really make me feel beautiful. You did such a good job. And I got a little misty-eyed. I didn't cry. But I got a dash misty-eyed, because that was the moment that I knew, no, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, just seeing the emotion that she had, but also it making me feel something, was like, no, makeup is more than just putting products on the face. Makeup is really, let's be honest here, beauty is something that's real, right? Like, an attractive person, a beautiful person, an attractive personality, an unattractive personality. Unfortunately, as human beings, we are vain, whether we want to admit it or not, we are. And the fact that beauty is literally something that comes from within, it means so much to me. The fact that a person could be beautiful on the inside and they just don't feel it. So when it comes to makeup, it's not just, oh, okay, we're putting on foundation and we're putting on lashes. No, makeup, just as fashion, that's how you present yourself to the world. That's how a person perceives you. That's how a person looks at you. Let's be real. You look at the physically attractive person, you want to hear what they have to say. You want to know their thoughts and opinions, as opposed to a person that you may deem unattractive physically. Now, it sucks that that's kind of the world we live in, but we have to be honest, So it's more so how you present yourself to the world, and also how you feel about yourself, And that was, like I said, the pivotal moment where I said, oh no, I like this. I love this pretty much. And if I'm able to make any and every other person, every woman that sits in my chair feel that way, then I definitely did. My job was definitely accomplished. So that's when I knew, oh yeah, this is it. Okay. I would describe beauty and makeup from the lenses of an art perspective. As I got back into doing makeup, I really realized that makeup is an art. One thing about me, I respect all fields of art. So whether it comes to music, writing, books, actual art, people who sculpt things, designers, architect, to me, that's all art. And I strongly believe, like in my heart and soul, one thing I truly believe is that creatives are really what makes the world go round. And that's just the truth of it, you know, because one, the ultimate creator is a creator, right? So everything that we know, everything that we see, and the ones who are talented, the ones who are gifted, the ones who are skilled, create, you know, and we have to view the world differently. Like, creatives truly view the world differently. Everything is a canvas. Everything is to be interpreted. Everything is to be felt. Everything is to be experienced. And I feel the exact same way when it comes to makeup. Even from the very beginning, I never saw it as, oh, you're trying to cover up. You're trying to cover things on your face. You're not being real. I never viewed makeup that way ever. I always viewed makeup as a way to truly express yourself and to enhance your natural beauty, right? If you have colored eyes, why not wear mascara to accentuate your eyes? If you have nice lips, why not wear a nice nude color or a nice pink color to enhance it? You know, I always viewed makeup from a lens of pretty much bringing light to the features that's already naturally beautiful, you know, and you always want to emphasize that. You always want to bring that to the forefront. And makeup was never vanity to me. I never viewed makeup as something that's vain. Again, you know, I think it comes from a place of, one, you want to present yourself to the world a certain kind of way, but it's also how you show up for yourself. You know, as a woman or anybody that loves makeup, is how you choose to show up for yourself, you know. But as I, like I said, got back into makeup artistry, I'm truly understanding the art side of it. I'm understanding more so the face shapes and the colors and the tones and techniques, textures, skincare, even more. Knowing those little fundamentals, that's really what brings art to life, you know. Knowing brushes, knowing colors, knowing what looks good on what person, knowing what would emphasize what features, knowing how to, again, create, you know, makeup. To the average person, I think they would view makeup as something easy, which it is. But when you truly have a passion for it, and when you truly understand the behind the scenes of it, you have a different understanding of it, and you have a different love for it, you know, as makeup artists. And I think that we don't really get a lot of respect in our field. You know, we have to be able to keep our own emotions intact. We have to be able to keep our minds clear and open to creativity. We have to be able to still be bold at times when people want to feel as though we're less than, you know. It takes a lot being a makeup artist, because we also deal with people's emotions. We also sometimes have to be healers. We have to sometimes give our client a hug or a pep talk, say, especially if it's a bride. You know, that being a part of someone's special moment, that's the most beautiful thing to me. You know, again, like I said, having clients that has cried, having clients that, you know, never saw themselves a certain kind of way. It's a real art, and it's a real skill, and it's true beauty to be able to allow someone to truly feel beautiful in a way that they never have before. And I think that within itself is another form of art that I don't think a lot of people could tap into, honestly speaking, you know. So that's really how I view makeup. That's, yeah, one viewpoint in a nutshell of how I really view makeup and how I approach makeup and the art side of makeup, you know. The moment that makeup was something serious for me was when I used to do fashion shows. I know. Honestly speaking, I still ponder on it this day. I don't know how I ended up doing fashion shows. I don't know how I got there. I don't remember the first time I went to one, which is the craziest thing to me. But yeah, when I was doing fashion shows, when I was on set to do different magazines, when I was doing weddings, that's when I knew, okay, this is something serious. Because when I was doing fashion shows at the time, that was when I really was in rooms with famous people. And so I'm like, oh wow, this is what they look like. They're so close. And I had did this actress's makeup. She probably don't even remember who I am. You probably have no idea who I am. But the actress from Tyler Perry's Meet the Pains, I think that's what it's called, the wife of the son, the light-skinned woman, the wife of the son, I forgot her name. I had did her makeup at the time when I was doing fashion shows. So that's when I extra loved doing makeup. If I have some photos, I might insert it. But that's when I really was like, oh yeah, this is fun. Like, I enjoyed being on set. I loved being around the models. Majority of the people that I worked with were kind. They were respectful. There was a situation where I had to check a person because I'm nice and I'm professional, but one thing, respect is very big for me, and I don't care who you are. Respect, that's just what it is. I loved it. You know, I would be in different places that I didn't think that I would be, in certain rooms I didn't think I would be in, and at the same time it was just fun, you know, being in rooms and playing with makeup and being around fashion. And after, it was always an after party, honey. So, you know, going to after parties, just hanging out with the models, it was really fun to me. Like, it didn't feel like a job to me. Like, you know, it would be long hours at times and it wasn't paid. That's what sucks. But it was fun, and I just enjoyed being in the room, being in the moment, and still doing what I do. Now, I think I told you guys in another story, in another video, that my makeup kit was really small. And if you know, you know, it's those little ones that has the little handle, and when you open it, like 2 little things pop out. And that was it. But I was in a room with makeup artists who had trolleys, who had suitcases, the whole MAC store. But that ain't bother me none. Okay, I did what I needed to do with my little kit, and that was good. So that was really the moment I'm like, oh yeah, this is serious, and I love it. I just love the environment of it. So that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this is a real deal, honey. Okay. What made me want to share my journey of makeup with you guys on YouTube? When I was doing makeup in the beginning, I had my other makeup page. I don't have the info on that anymore, but I had a different makeup page. And at the time, my mom would always tell me, you know, you should go on YouTube, you should go on YouTube, you should do videos, you should do videos. And at that time, I was very much self-conscious. I never wanted to hear my voice. I never wanted to see what I looked like on camera. Never wanted to come on camera without makeup. And I never looked at it as a positive at that point. At that point, I always made excuses. And I pretty much always stood in my own way. I think, guys, I told you guys before, just a little bit, I had stepped away from makeup for some time. I always regretted that decision. Like, I always lived with that guilt, and it always made me sad. Like, that was one thing I definitely regret, was walking away. But now, like I think I told you guys before, I sat with my Jesus, and you know, I said that I'm gonna commit to really taking this as far as he will allow for me to take it, you know, and hopefully it becomes bigger than me, you know. And so doing it this time, I realized that I have to get outside of my comfort zone. I have to not stand in my own way. And one of those things is having to be in front of a camera, right? It's one thing to just always showcase my craft and my artistry, but I realize people want to see people. People want to connect. People want to feel seen, feel heard, know the person behind what they do. And the funny thing is, I always liked makeup because I'm like, oh, I get to be behind the scenes. Nobody cares about the makeup artist. Somebody sees the makeup artist. But nowadays, we kind of have to be at the forefront. We kind of have to take reins of what we do and our skill and our artistry, and you guys get to see who we are. You know. And so I'm like, you know what, it's not gonna harm me. You know, being on YouTube and being on Instagram and doing reels is not gonna harm me in any way. If anything, it would help me to some capacity. But also the funny thing about it is, as I sit with you guys and I continue to film videos, one, I really look forward to it, which is the craziest thing. Like, I look forward to sitting with you guys and chatting with you guys and telling story times and doing my makeup with you guys. And surprisingly, I'm comfortable being on camera with no makeup on and taking my hair down. And it's cool to me because I'm looking at it as a documentation of my journey, a kind of for myself, but also for you guys. You know, with my videos, I never knew who I am, probably inspiring. I don't know who may view me as their friend, their big sister, their homie, their homegirl, you know. And I think that's the cool thing to me, having that moment to share mostly with you guys, you know, a part of myself, and allowing me to be comfortable in my artistry, allow me to be comfortable with my voice and seeing myself on camera. And again, like I said, it's most likely like it's pretty much a documentation of me, you know, life of a makeup artist. You know, you never know. I'm putting it out there to the world. Okay, I'm gonna have a documentary. Okay. In my head, there's always cameras around me anyways. So yeah, like I said, getting back and having a conversation with my Jesus, it just made sense to me. Of course, we're talking to my mom. It just made sense to me. You know what? Maybe I should take your advice, Mom, and film videos. Why not? Like I said, I'm really loving it. Now, of course, because this is something new, you know, it's going to be something that's going to take some time, and it's going to organically grow into what it needs to do. But like I said, I love it either way. Like, if one person watch it, if nobody watch it, I'm watching it. Okay. And so yeah, I just thought it was time to get back out there, and why not film it? Why not record it? Why not have it documented? You know, and again, I've learned so much over the course of me working in the field of makeup artistry, but also me not working in makeup artistry for so many years. So now getting back at it, I think it's only right that I start to record and start to film it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, now is having to be a photographer, videographer, IT, tech, a light person. It's the craziest thing, but like I said, it's fun. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys love it. I hope that it's entertaining and also educational for you guys, you know. If not makeup, if I was not doing makeup, in my heart and soul, in another life, it would be fashion. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? Little fun fact, I used to have a unisex brand called Ledge. That was like another sector of, because I used to sell and make lip glosses. I know. But then another sector of that was, I had an apparel line. It was named Ledge. That's why sometimes you might see a shirt or something that says that name on it, because that was my brand prior to. And the funny thing about it, when it comes to fashion, to me, it's the same as makeup. You know, knowing body types, knowing colors, knowing skin tones, knowing what works with the person, knowing what works with a person's body type, still playing around with colors, you know. And so, yeah, if it wasn't makeup, it would have been fashion for sure. A few words of wisdom, I guess, to leave with you guys. If you are an aspiring makeup artist or whatever field you're in, real life will time with you, just do it. Okay, there is no better time than the present. You know, if you sit on an idea too long, you might miss your opportunity. So I would say always be open to the universe, to your creator, to the signs. And if you truly feel something in your spirit, that's positive, right? You just got to do it. You know, it's okay to be a little nervous. It's okay to not know and not understand or know how things will fall into play. But that doesn't matter. As long as you say, you know what, I'm going to trust in my creator. I'm going to trust in the universe. I felt this in my heart and spirit for a reason. So that's what I'm going to do. Just do it. You know, just jump off the ledge, honey. That's it. That's what you got to do. Because again, when I started makeup and I said, you know what, I'm going to be a makeup artist. I don't care what nobody says. Honey child, I lost my mind. I didn't know what I was going to do and how it was going to happen, but it just did. And a lot of risks that I did take in my life was really just me saying, okay, let's just do it. You know, and again, I don't know you guys' spirituality or anything like that or your beliefs. I'm not here to convince you of anything, but if you really have a real relationship with the creator and he's your anchor in it all, he's definitely always going to guide your footsteps. He's always going to lead you, and he's never going to let you look crazy. You know, he's always going to prepare you. He's always going to instill things in you that he needs you to have, and he's always going to guide you. So all you have to do is just trust him as well. You know, always make sure you're around people that supports you and will always be honest with you. You know, and I have people around me that's always honest with me. Lena, that looks crazy. Lena, try this again. Lena, maybe we should do it this way. You always want people to be honest around you as well on your journey. And also have a reason. Have a real reason. Have a real purpose for what you're doing. If it's only for money, I promise you that's not the reason. No, it should be more than that. You should want to be of purpose in someone's life. You should want to be of service to someone. You should want to be able to add to and to pour into in whatever skill that you have. And I truly believe that. And then the money and everything else comes after that. So I hope those were good tips. I hope those were good words of wisdom. Nails, I think this video was kind of short. I hope it wasn't too long. I didn't want it to be too long. I don't want to talk you guys' ears off. But I thoroughly enjoyed sitting with you guys. I enjoyed letting you guys know a little bit about me, a little bit where my headspace is and how things all started for me. If you guys would like to know more, any more details, any questions that I didn't delve into, anything I didn't touch upon, please, I'm begging you, write them in the comment section. I will definitely read them. I will definitely answer them. And I have no issues doing a second part to this video for you guys. Thank you so much for sharing a part of your day with me. I feel special. Thank you for allowing me to always be open with you guys and honest with you guys. Give my tips and tricks. Give a piece of my knowledge. I love it so much. Again, I wouldn't be growing. I wouldn't be getting better. I wouldn't be getting more comfortable within myself in my field if it wasn't for you guys allowing me that safe space. So I thank you guys so much. As I always say, the true foundation of beauty starts from within. Makeup is just the cherry on top. Thank you guys so much. I love you so much. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell a friend. Until next time. I love you.